Imagine a landscape where the air itself seems to hold its breath, where trees wear gowns of rime and the earth lays silent beneath a thick blue-white blanket. We journey now to the snow-covered mountains of Tohoku and the icy reaches of Hokkaido regions of Japan, where winter is not merely a season, but a force that shapes story, superstition, and the line between the living and the uncanny. In these highlands and coastal snowscapes, cold is not just felt, it is personified. The first figure we meet is the Yuki-Onna, the snow woman. She is depicted in many ways, sometimes a pale, impossibly beautiful maiden in white, sometimes a formless mist that drifts through the pines. Travelers tell of meeting her on moonlit roads, of awakening to find only her footprints in newly fallen snow. Her most chilling trait is said to be her breath, an exhalation so frigid it freezes flesh and spirit alike. In some tales, she appears merciful, sparing children or lovers if shown compassion. In others, she is merciless, a spectral herald of winter who will freeze any trespasser who crosses her path. Yuki-Onna can be understood as more than a monster. She is an embodiment of winter's paradox. She combines beauty and danger, allure and annihilation. Her presence in folklore is a kind of warning and a form of meaning-making. Communities in the past faced storms and isolation that could claim lives, and the snow woman became a mythic articulation of those very perils. She is at once an explanation for sudden frostbite, a moral figure in stories that test hospitality and truth, and an image of nature's indifferent power. Not far from these tales is another figure of solitude and transformation, the Tsurara-Onna, the icicle woman. Unlike the Yuki-Onna, whose origin is often supernatural or ambiguous, the Tsurara-Onna is born from a human sorrow, a lonely man's wish for companionship so desperate that it shapes the elements themselves. According to some versions, a man lamenting his solitude wishes for a bride, and the winter answers. An icicle forms, slender and sparkling, and takes on the semblance of a woman. She stands fragile, crystalline, beautiful and haunted by the slow inevitability of melting. Tsurara-Onna's story is intimate, a meditation on desire and impermanence. Her existence is conditional upon warmth. A single breath or the sun's soft touch will dissolve her. In stories, she becomes a mirror reflecting human longing and the risks of attempting to possess what is transient. Encounters with the icicle woman are often tinged with pity and melancholy. She is less a predator than a tragic figure, reminding us of the gap between yearning and reality. If the snow woman and the icicle woman speak to winter's sentient qualities and its fragile gifts, the Kamaitachi, the sickle-weasels, express winter's swiftness and cruelty. These are not singular beings, but a procession of invisible, razor-edged winds. Legends describe them as weasel-like creatures riding on gusts so cold and sharp that they lash at travelers' skin. The cut is said to be so quick that it does not bleed initially. The wound appears later, as though time itself had been nicked before the flesh. Kamaitachi stories often explain sudden, inexplicable injuries suffered during snowstorms or sudden blasts of wind. They suggest a world where danger travels unseen, where the elements perform surgical strikes and retreat before one can name their assailant.
Like many folk tales, these tales served practical purposes, reminding people to guard themselves against the hidden hazards of winter and to treat odd wounds with care. Across Tohoku and Hokkaido, these three figures, the Yuki-Onna, the Tsurara-Onna, and the Kamaitachi, compose a folklore of cold. They are metaphors and warnings, consolations and cautions. They remind us that landscapes shape stories, and stories shape how people live and survive. In the hush of a mountain night, when breath crystallizes and the wind lays down its cutting path, these legends endure, not merely as ghost stories, but as a way of naming the perilous beauty of winter itself.